team is at full-back Phil Beavers. Right wing Tony Kay, right centre Tirapati. Mark Bailey and Brimmer Kebby take up the left wing partnership. Shane Cooper and Sean Devine at half-back. Farber, Groves and Ward in the front row, with George Mann and Roy Haggerty second row, Bernard Dwyer at loose forward, Darren O'Brien at 14 and Andy Bateman at 15. The Castleford side, number 1 St John Ellis, 2 Larder, 3 Bragger, 4 Anderson, 5 Plange, 6 Stedman, 7 French, 8 Crooks, 9 Beardmore, 10 Samson, 11 Irwin, 12 Hardy, 13 Joyner with substitutes 14 Fletcher and 15 Roebuck. So there's the match day official this afternoon, Mr Brian Goltris with Saints captain Shane Cooper. Today's match day mascot Ian Worley. Big day for this lad. The team's changed round there. Saints are going to kick off, and mascot there, Ian Worley, just making his way over there to the main stand. Probably his dad will be there to meet him. He's take his position up in the stand to watch this afternoon's game. Only the second game in October for the Saints, with the Saints playing Australia, then a week off. Castleford today, and it's the test match next Saturday. Phil Beavers gets us underway. Deep kick. Taken by Jeff Hardy in the second row. This Aussie from Illawarra Steelers had a spell with Sheffield, but it's Castleford and they'll want to do well against the Saints. Equally Kevin Ward, who came here, £80,000 move from Castleford, a team that he'd served for 13 years, and he'll want to do well, and Ward he'll get stuck in amongst them, but it's Castleford in possession. The ball back for the kick downfield. No problem for Beavers, season campaigner, and they've got to give him 10 yards now. He slips the ball out to Sean Devine. Groves at dummy half, Saints moving it left. Cooper, George Mann. The subject of a bit of wrangling with the New Zealand board. They want Mann back before the end of the season, and Mann wants to stay here. Lovely ball from Haggerty there to Bailey, I think it was. No, Tirapati it was, but immediately tackled. The ball loose on the far side. A knock-on being adjudged by referee Goltris. So the first scrum of the match. 10 yards inside the Saints half. Gary French. The Aussie scrum half to feed. Didn't look as though it saw much of the scrum that, but Castleford up with possession. Moving it quickly to Bragger. Breaks one tackle, flicks it out to Larder. But a good tackle there. Cooper moves. Is it Cooper? Yes, Cooper moves in quickly. Graham Stedman, dummy half. Castleford on the charge. Veteran campaigner John Joyner. Short ball from Hardy. Look to hint forward there onto Grant Anderson. But Saints cover tackling holds firm. Lee Crooks. Solid tackle there. Farber well in. And Farber back in the side after that scare where he had announced his retirement. But after further medical advice, everything's clear, and Farber there in the Saints pack. Sixth and final tattle. Stedman tries to grubber it through, but it's well taken there on the far side. Sean Devine, I think that moved in very quickly there. Took the ball into space, but Saints on the attack. Groves just couldn't get it at the first bang there. Bailey, good ball to Kebby, in a bit of space now. Let's see what this lad can do. Comes infield. Good tackle from Castleford, but it's Kebby in possession. Mark Bailey, Cooper onto Haggerty now. Saints with a change up. Haggerty breaks the tackle, releases it to Groves. Saints move upfield a full 50 yards now. George Mann, space on the left, overlap on the left. Beavers is the extra man. Gives the dummy Beavers, comes inside. Oh, yes, is he over? He may have slid over, or he's inches short. George Mann, short ball, lofted ball now. Thought he was giving a short ball. Haggerty, infield Haggerty, looking for support. What a start from the Saints now. Paul Groves at dummy half, brings it blindside. Cooper, the chip kick through. Yes, Mark Bailey. I think it's Mark Bailey that's won the touchdown. George Mann was there, but I think Bailey just picked him for the touchdown. A shrewd kick from Shane Cooper, and Saints score in the early minutes. So Saints with a 4-0 lead. Mark Bailey, I think, that did get the touchdown. But Saints piling the pressure on. They moved up in the full 50 yards, then spread the ball out. It went to Shane Cooper. Castleford were moving up, and Cooper just a little grubber kick through. Bailey and Mann chased it, and I think it was Mark Bailey that just got his fingers to it. Sean Devine taking over the kicking duties. We can remember last season in the Challenge Cup preliminary round when Saints played Castleford, and Sean Devine banged 9 conversions over, well, 9 goals anyway. So it's Devine, 15 yards in, just on the 25-yard line now, just composing himself. Right foot kicker. It's low, but it's between the sticks, and that's all that counts, isn't it? So 6-0. Saints are in the lead after just 5 minutes play. Brilliant play from the Saints there. They moved it well from their own 25. Kebby that started it off, and this lad subject to quite a bit of barracking from the Saints fans. He hasn't had a good chance in the first team, but he certainly did well there. Heard up the wing, but he's lost possession at the first tackle there. 15 yards from the Saints line. Big prop forward Samson. Lee Crooks up centre field. 8 yards now from the Saints line. Castleford putting the pressure on. They've had a gift of the ball there as Saints had brought it up, but it's French powering his way through. Solid tackle. Phil Beavers at the second tackle, but it's Bernard Dwyer that brought him down. Castleford, Steadman releases it. Good ball handling half-back this Steadman. Sixth and final tackle now. Referee Galtrus with his hand up. Crooks, I should say, onto the other second row. Sean Irwin, that's the 6th tackle. Well, I've just been corrected now. It was George Mann that actually won the race for the line. So George Mann, that's his second try of the season. Well, I think it is anyway. Maybe his first. I don't know George Mann, but Mann accredited with the try. Scrum down after some loose play from the Saints in their own 25. They just have to settle down. French puts it in. It hangs in the pack, but it's Castleford ball. Steadman with the loop. He comes round. David Plange. He's going to go in at the corner. Yes. Is he in or is he in touch? Well, a player injured on the far side. But the try's been awarded. David Plange. Castleford moved it quickly from the scrum. So Castleford moving it quickly, as I said, from the scrum. Over here on the Popular side, through quite a few pair of hands, on a lofted ball to David Plange on the left wing, running at pace, took it well and powered his way into the corner there, taking the corner flag with him. Saints player injured on the far side. Phil Beavers it is. He's up and about now. Took a knock there in his efforts to get over to stop David Plange scoring. After 7 minutes, Castleford are back in the hunt. 6-4. And this conversion attempt from Lee Crooks. I would imagine it is on the far side, as you can see there. He's only inches in from the Popular, the main stand side touchline, right on the 25-yard line. So Lee Crooks composing himself, strikes it well as he got the accuracy, waved away by the touch judges. So after 8 minutes play now here at Nosey Road, it's Saints 6, Castleford 4. So Saints there falling foul to bad handling errors, giving the ball away on the first tackle as Castleford had kicked off after the George Mann try, then losing possession again, and from the resulting scrum Castleford moved it quickly across to the left and scored that try by David Plange. Steve Larder bringing the ball up onto Sampson. Castleford in possession, just outside their own 25. Crooks with a good ball to Hardy. Tirapati wraps him up. And Castleford moving it to centre field. Crooks again, he gets the ball away. It's Ian St John Ellis, subject of a little confrontation with Martin O'Fire the other week on a televised match. The ball back up to Stedman, he runs it straight through centre field. International half-back standoff is Stedman. Gary French kicks it downfield. Is it going to be too deep? It's going to run dead. Yes, it does run dead. Play going to restart from the centre of the 25-yard line. Paul Groves ready to get us underway. Short ball, Kevin Ward turns in the tackle, doesn't release it. Groves onto Farber, going straight centre field, gains another 15 yards up. Cooper, Haggerty will take him on. He beats the first line of defence, can't release it. Castleford, Stedman and Sampson, second bite of the cherry and get him down. Bernard Dwyer, lovely ball onto Devine, but Gary French saw it, snaffled him out, but Dwyer getting a lovely ball away there. Castleford moving up exceptionally quickly. George Mann, good ball to Bailey, out to Brimmer Kebby. A lot to do there, Kebby, but he's taken down by Ian Bragger, this ex-Keighley three-quarter. Beavers gets the kick away. St John Ellis takes it comfortably. I believe Larder is usually the full-back, but he's been very suspect under these high balls from the opposition, and they've been moving St John Ellis to the full-back position. Crooks, after that ball from Kevin Beardmore, twin brother of Bob Beardmore, who's now at Lee, versatile half-back and hooker partnership. They had a good relationship. But Bernard Dwyer took a knock in that tackle. Castleford in possession. Stedman sees the big gap and positional kicking over there, but it's not going to run far enough. Beaver's going to take it comfortably. Gives the dummy, but has to take the tackle. Anderson and Plange on the far side. Bernard Dwyer back in the field of play. And Saints again, unfortunately, an unforced error there. Farber inside to Tony Kay. Tony Kay couldn't take it. A knock on, so it's going to result in further pressure for the Saints here. Castleford feed. French feeds, Castleford with possession. Move it quickly. Stedman. Inside ball, and Castleford fluff it this time. The knock on being indicated by referee Galtras. So a chance for Saints to get possession back, even though they are in their own 25. Saints win the scrum. Devine, good ball, well taken by Tony Kay. And Castleford penalised for holding down in the scrum, in the tackle, I should say. I think that's the first penalty we've had this afternoon, after nearly 13 minutes play, and the score still 6-4 in Saints' favour. Phil Beavers finds touch about 8 yards short of the Cast 25. Saints lining out. Groves on to Devine, along the line. Cooper, short ball to Kevin Ward, turns it back to Sean Devine. Tries to sidestep through the Castleford defence, but Sampson's quickly there. And Beardmore hold him down. Haggerty straightens up, pushes one off, releases it to Cooper. On to Rapati. Threading his way through is Rapati. Good play. On to Divine. He'll have to straighten up. Rapati gets the ball back. Saints on the charge now. Rapati up to the Castleford 25. Good play from the Saints now. They have to run it. Cooper, yes, good ball. George Mann, Mark Bailey, Brimmer Kebby. Can he squeeze in? No, just forced into touch. Good tackle there from Steve Larder. But Saints moved it quickly. Just as Castleford did when Plange went over in the far corner. But this is the idea, move the ball quickly. French feeds, Cass with possession. Saints will have to hold them up there. Pen them in their own 25. Also, they'll have to watch for the kick downfield. But solid tackling, Farber and Haggerty quickly in there. Dean Sam, is it? No, it's Crooks. Lee Crooks. Bernard Dwyer trying to release the ball. And Castleford now, on to Sampson. Grant Anderson quickly taken down there. Tirapati moved in very quickly. Stedman boots it downfield, no problem for Vivers. Stops it with his foot, gathers it safely, drives over to the right wing. Bernard Dwyer. Attacks in half-back. Saints moving it infield. Well, Saints looking a little flat-footed there, and Sean Devine, he wanted to release it, but Saints stood about instead of getting up with things. Shane Cooper just remonstrating with them now, telling them to get the finger out. Groves. Typical dummy from Groves. Beardmore, his counterpart, takes him down. Haggerty, Cooper. Well, interception there. Stedman read it well. No problem, right under the sticks. Well, you could see that coming off, couldn't you? Saints had to play it quickly. Obviously, quick hands is the name of the game, but Saints played the ball. Castleford moving up exceptionally quickly, trying to force an error in the Saints handling. They did so. Cooper knew he had to get the ball out quick, but Stedman read it well, took it with ease. International half-back, and no problem for him. Nobody could lay a finger on him. Touches down right under the sticks, put Castleford in the lead at 8 points to 6, and just a formality now for Lee Crooks. There he goes, Crooks, just about 12 yards out, bangs it right between the sticks, and that makes it 10 points to 6 in Castleford's favour, and just over 16 minutes of play gone in this first half. Castleford, they've only got 2 wins under the belt out of 6 games. Saints having games in hand, obviously with the playing the Aussies, and no fixture last week. Both on 4 points, but Castleford in 13th position, Saints in 11th, both at the wrong end of the table. So it's going to be a 4-pointer this afternoon. Saints kick off, Castleford in possession in their own 25. Crooks inside ball. Dean Sampson, the other prop, both driving props to Lee Crooks, ex-Hull and Leeds favourite, now in the Castleford ranks. Solid tackle from Bernard Dwyer and Kevin Ward. 6th and final tackle signified. Stedman again. Low kick over to the right wing. Tony Kay juggles with it, takes it well. Tries to round his man on the outside. Well, he's in touch there. The touch judge got his flag up, but whether he's actually got in touch, I don't know. A lot of jeers and boos from the Partisans and Terrence crowd on the far side. Obviously not happy with that decision. Castleford win possession from the scrum. Stedman, it is again, into space. He's going to go in for his second. Yes, Stedman in again. That shows the quality of a top-class standoff. And Stedman powers in for his second try in 3 minutes. Right from the base of the scrum again. And Steadman latching onto it. Caught the Saints defence flat-footed. And he powers his way in for a try. It's Steadman that's going to convert his own try. Shouldn't have any problem. Right between the uprights. Just 19 minutes gone and Saints on the end of a 16 points to 6 against scoreline. That shows you there a top-class standoff. With all due respect to the players out there, we know that we've been wanting a top-class defence splitter for quite some while. Well, a knock on there, Ian Bragger. A low kick. Is it Ian Bragger? No, I beg your pardon. It's veteran campaigner John Joyner. Took it low. And he lost possession. So a chance now for Saints. Devine. On to Cooper, back for Devine. Lofted ball to Beavers as the extra man. So Saints will have to get points on the board, trailing by 10. Got to move it quickly. Bernard Dwyer straightens up. Cooper. Devine. Uncharacteristically the Groves there, and he shows his scrums in the first 20 minutes. Cass in possession, just outside their own 25. Larder. Inside ball to second row man Sean Irwin. He's usually a three-quarter, but drafted into the second row. Saints penalised for offside. French takes it quickly. Cass on the charge. Steadman again. He's the man you've got to watch. George Mann quickly dispatches him. And this will have to be said at half-time. You know these danger men on the opposition. You've got to get in them. Make the tackles count. Get them bruised. Make sure they know that if they're coming through again, they're going to get quite a bit of clog. Samson. 15-yard burst from him. In the Saints half now. Castleford in possession, leading by 16 points to 6. Crooks, out to Steadman again, lovely ball there. Out to St. John Ellis. He goes in field, he had two men on his left, but he gives one dummy too many, but it's out to Bragger. Second row man Hardy. Out there to Larder, pushed into touch. So good attack from Castleford, but equally good defence from the Saints there on that occasion. Moving it quickly. Castleford moved it quickly over to the right wing. It ended up with Steve Larder, but he's forced into touch. Sean Devine to feed. Comes up with possession. Castleford defence comes in quickly. And Saints have to watch it in their own 25. Roy Haggerty will take them on. He's being forced back towards his own line. 10 yards from his own line now. Solid Castleford tackling there. Samson and Beardmore. George Mann. Castleford moving up exceptionally quickly, but George Mann broke the first line of defence. John Joyner tells his side to get back for the kick through. Groves kicks it through. Hardy flicks it up to St. John Ellis. Straight runner, usually a wingman, so he's a speedy campaigner. Beardmore at dummy half. Castleford in the Saints 25. On to Crooks, the ball's loose. Saints have it. It's Kevin Ward quickly down on it. Referee Galtris, he looks to his right this time, and as you can hear from the ironical cheers, Saints are awarded a penalty. Cooper takes it quickly, feeds it on to Kebby. Devine gives the dummy. Tries to get through the Castleford defence. Haggerty coming up, but Bragger has him. Couldn't release it. Ward. Out to Cooper. George Mann. Straightens it up, does George Mann. Good war. I thought he'd give it inside to Mark Bailey. But Bailey at dummy half. Castleford all offside there. Referee looking both ways. but not taking any notice. Farber looking for support. Brought down in the cast 25 now. Mark Bailey, Saints have got to get points on the board. Cooper, Bernard Dwyer, he'll have to straighten up. He gives it to Beavers, inside ball to Tirapati. Sixth and final tackle now. I would imagine this will go in the air. Cooper, yes, there's the bomb. It's over to the right wing. Tony Kay chasing it. Well, Castleford man takes it successfully. But offside has been given. Well, I thought the Castleford man had it, but offside been given. He must have adjudged Tony Kay to have been in an offside position when Shane Cooper lofted that high up and under. But Cooper was moving over to the left, and he kicked it over to the right wing there with Tony Kay. Referee Galtus adjudged him offside, and Castleford awarded the penalty. 15 minutes of the game remaining, well, the first half I should say, and Saints still trailing by 16 points to 6. French, Crooks gives the dummy, Mann gets him down, and French gets Paul Groves there, comes in quickly to tackle him. St. John Ellis moving up in the line from the full-back position, making the extra man as Castleford tried to move it quickly. Castleford coached by Donald van der Velde, the Australian coach. Took over after a short spell from Dean Sampson's dad. But Steadman kicks it downfield. Beavers takes it well, turning awkwardly, feeds it inside to Brimmer Kebby. Beats one, straightens up to the 25. Steadman in with Hardy to bring him down. Beavers again inside to Kevin Ward. Looking for support there, Ward holding the ball. Divine, Farber, got to back the man up with the ball. Well, number 11 there, it'll be from Castleford, Sean Irwin, going in a little over enthusiastically on Paul Farber. He was actually grounded. Well, I must have said something after that tackle as Irwin. And it's Phil Beavers to take the penalty kick towards the popular side stand. He finds touch 8 yards inside the Castleford half. Kevin Ward. Dwyer was on his right, he couldn't release it, he was just going down in the tackle. Divine, Haggerty into space. Beavers with him. Haggerty still there, he couldn't release it. Sean Divine as well. Been out injured, Haggerty, in a testimonial season here at Nosey Road. And guess what? Surprise, surprise, Castleford penalised for offside. Groves wants to take it quickly, he does now. Cooper, Tirapati, Bailey comes inside. Rapati now again, charging for the line. Yes, lovely ball to Kebby. He's in, Kebby's in. Good play there from both the Saint centres and Brimmer Kebby. So Brimmer Kebby going in there, only his second appearance this season, his first try for the senior squad, apart from the friendly match against Widnes. Reduces the deficit a little, but good play there from the Saints. They took it up quickly. Castleford penalised for offside, and not before time either, I may hasten to add. Tirapati over here on the left wing, he's playing right centre, but he was over here on the left wing, and both him and Bailey playing well into passing, and finally Rapati, I think it was, gave it to Brimmer Kebby. He just sneaked in at the corner. Referee Galtus right on the job, and that reduces the deficit to 16 points to 10. So Sean Divine already converted the George Mann try. A more difficult conversion attempt this time, just about 5 yards in, if that, and just behind the 25-yard line, but quite a good kicker on his day. Well, that looks good, doesn't it? Oh, superb kick from Sean Divine, just sneaking inside the left hand upright, and that makes it Saints 12, Castleford 16. So Saints hitting back with 12 minutes remaining of the first half. 12 points to 16. And it was only Castleford in that purple patch, that 11-minute spell with the tries from Plange, 2 from Stedman, 1 an interception, and then 1 a brilliant individual effort. But George Mann there. We could do with 6 George Manns in the pack, couldn't we? For his enthusiasm. Kevin Ward, well, there's another wonder. Kevin Ward, brilliantly breaking through in the test squad for this Saturday's first test against the Aussies at Wembley. Good ball, George Mann again, he'll take him up, centre field, reverse pass to Cooper. Cooper back past her to Sean Devine. Saints throwing it about, and that's going to be essential to try and beat this Castleford defence, which is moving up exceptionally quickly. Beavers, good ball to Haggerty, into space. Haggerty takes the ball, flicks it inside. The ball's loose. Oh, brilliant play from the Saints there. It's Haggerty again. Gets a pat on the back from Phil Beavers there, only rightly so. Tremendous in form. Second row man Roy Haggerty. Been out injured with a leg injury for the last few weeks. Did come on as substitute against the Australians, but Castleford win possession from the scrum. Hardy running crossfield, trying to straighten up now, but Kevin Ward goes in, bangs him down with Shane Cooper. Lee Crooks. Farber in as well with Bernard Dwyer, I think it is. Well, Farber puts his hands up in the air, but referee Galters comes in, and whether he's shouted held and the ball was wrench free or what, I don't know. Farber just indicating that he had nothing to do with it. We believe him, obviously referee Galters doesn't. So penalty to Castleford. Graham Stedman positions it on the ground and then kicks it. It was a waste of time, that was, wasn't it? Dean Sampson. Usually kicked out of the hand, but for whatever reason he placed it. Sean Irwin. 15-yard burst from this second row. Usually a three-quarter, as I said, but playing in the second row this afternoon. French on to Stedman. You've got to get in. First tackles have got to count. Saints will have to get 2 and 3 men in at the tackles and make sure they bounce the opposition down. Jeff Hardy. George Mann has him, but he releases it to Larder. Straightens up. Good tackle there, Sean Devine. John Joyner straightens it up. Sixth and final tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if Castleford didn't have a go for drop goal. It's French. Kicks it crossfield. Beavers takes it well on the run. Takes it over to the right wing and drives it up. Saints play it quickly. Tia Rapati. One of 5 Rapati brothers. Looks quite strong after his initial knee trouble when he came to the Saints last season. But Saints in possession. Kevin Ward. Diagonal run. 10 yards further forward. Just out of his own 25. Cooper watching for the interception. Good ball to Haggerty. Shakes one off. Releases it now. Well, I thought he'd released it there back to Cooper, but has to take the tackle of Hardy and Hooker Beardmore. Sixth and final one now. The ball with Beavers. Pressure from the Castleford attack. Oh, super take there from St John Ellis. He drives it up centre field. Beats the first line of defence. He's still going. Tony Kay brings him down. 7 minutes of the first half remaining. 16 points to 12 in Castleford favour. A good game. Saints after a good start after just 3 minutes, and then Castleford hitting back with 3 tries. And Brimmer Kebby just squeezing into the corner. About 5 or 6 minutes ago, reducing the deficit. But it's Castleford in possession. Along the line, Joyner. Saints moving up for the interception, but Joyner saw them moving up. Took the tattle by Paul Groves. Lee Crooks. George Mann going in for the ball. Sixth and final tackle now, signified. Beardmore on to Stedman. Tony Kay. Lets it bounce. Well, the knock on behind his own line, adjudged by referee Goltris. So play to restart with a drop out from between the sticks. So that will go down as an unforced error against the Saints. And where Saints should have been coming away with the ball, Phil Vevers forced a drop out from between the sticks and give back Castleford possession. Good deep kick, Stedman takes it well. St. John Ellis, high stepping, looking to get through the Saints defence, but Cooper and Bailey come in, quickly dispatch him to the turf. Sean Urban at dummy half, taking it in field, going on his own, going crossfield, looking for the chink in the Saints armour. But it's quickly brought down, centre field. It's now with Dean Sampson, moving it over to the left. Breaks the first line of defence. Ward has him, but he slips it out to David Plange. Running hard is David Plange. George Mann completes the tackle. Pass in possession. Stedman from acting half-back, scampering through. Beats two tackles, still gets the ball away. It's gone back, referee Goltris said. Joyner, Crooks, grubbering through. Kebby takes it well. Under a lot of pressure there, but Crooks. It's St. John Ellis, kicks it through. Tattle count waved clean. Farber in possession. St. John Ellis going in, and Castleford moving up exceptionally quickly. Beavers, good break from Beavers, used the blind side. Groves wants a quick play of the ball and Saints on the charge again. Groves out to Cooper, quick handling, George Mann. Oh, watch this man run. Tony Kay takes it. Well, there's no knock on there, surely. That bounced in front of his hands, then he picked it up. Certainly looked that way to me, but not to referee Goltris. Scrum down, being ruled for a knock on. It's going to be Gary French to feed, Castleford feed. Taking the scrum 6-3. But Saints being penalised. There's all sorts of hands going over there. He'd do well at Chepstow, wouldn't he, doing his tic-tac? But it's Castleford that's been awarded the penalty. Graham Stedman with the ball in his possession. Four minutes to go. Cass in the lead, 16-12. In the Saints, 25. Dean Sampson. Beardmore looking for the runners, gives the dummy. Tries to scamper through, but quickly dispatched by Kevin Ward. Movement here now, Jeff Hardy. Obviously a planned move from Castleford in the opposition 25. Joyner moving up quickly as no dummy half had got the Crooks. Ward, the ball slipped out to French. Cooper, Saints captain, has him. Centre field, 15 yards from the Saints line. Joyner, lofted ball to Sean Irwin, but it's knocked it on. The ball knocked forward. Good tackling from the Saints that forced Irwin to lose possession that time. Scrum down with the Saints feed. Just about 10 yards, 10-15 yards from the Saints try line. Both teams packed. Devine gets possession. Full length of the field job now would certainly do the Saints' confidence a bit of good. George Mann pushing the first off and the second and the third. Still driving forward, George Mann. Still not pushed to the ground. Tremendous strength from this New Zealand forward. Kevin Ward looking for support. Flicks it out, but the ball's knocked forward. Offside being given. It's against the Saints, so a chance for Castleford to have a go for goal. So referee Goltris, over-exuberant going in there. We know Ward had tried to get the ball out, whether it was accidental offside or what, but the penalty's been awarded to Castleford. There's no danger of that, and Stedman's going to have a go for goal. Well, quite a few shocks last weekend. Obviously Hull at the top of the table. They beat Warrington 3-2. Widnes got beat at Kingston Rovers. Featherstone beating Leeds at Leeds, and then Rochdale with the first points of the season beating Bradford. And of course we've got to mention the Super Pie Eaters, whose super team, the fourth test against the Aussies at Central Park was a bit of a flop. They went down by 34 points to 6. I thought they'd got extra strength in depth, but obviously not. Couldn't compete with the great big Aussie machine. And at least we did get over the whitewash for a fair try. We didn't get awarded a penalty try. But anyway, Stedman there, have to get it off my soapbox. Stedman there just converting that penalty into points. And Castleford 18 points to 12 in the lead. In the dying seconds now, Castleford in possession. Just outside their own 25. Into a knock on there from Braga, but not from Beardmore, I should say, but not given. On to Jeff Hardy, powering his way down the touchline, right in front of our commentary position. Well, there's the half-time hooter. So Castleford going in, leading by 18 points to 12 at half-time. As I said, a good start from the Saints. George Mann it was that was a judge to have scored the try. After that shrewd kick through from Shane Cooper. Converted by Sean Devine. Saints in the lead, 6 points to 0. Then 3 tries in 11 minutes from Plange, 2 from Stedman. Stedman converting 1, Crooks the other. 1 going unconverted, and then it was Castleford in the lead, 16 points to 6. Good work from both centres, and Kevy squeezing in at the left-hand corner in the 27th minute. And then just before half-time, Stedman with a penalty goal. So the half-time score here at Nosey Road is Saints 12, Castleford 18. Back with you now for the second half, the Stones Bitter League clash. Saints trailing by 18 points to 12 at half-time. As far as I can see, no substitutions either side. And Castleford get us underway. Saints in possession, in their own 25 after Castleford kicking off. Kevy feeds it inside, Haggerty. Certainly had a good first half as Roy Haggerty. Powering through this Castleford defence, but just a little bit of support play letting us down on a few occasions. Have to get back in the swing straight away and try and a goal for put us on level terms. Kevin Ward breaks the first tackle, flicks it up inside Beavers, tidies up. Saints throwing it about Groves into space. Brought down there Stedman and Anderson. Complete the tackle. Beavers again. Little chip kick through, well obstructed there. Waved on, the Saints come up with possession. Bernard Dwyer, lovely ball round the man to Devine. Devine has to take the tackle. Well, he's given the sixth tackle there. Sixth and final, as always, he's just trying to get the men on side. Anything can happen with this fella. Dwyer, Cooper, lovely dummy from Cooper. Out to Kay, takes it well. Flicks it back inside under pressure. Cooper, Dwyer, Beavers, lots of hands. Onto Farber. Well, Farber's gone without it, but a little bit of a altercation there, and George Mann is in the thick of it. And you couldn't wish to meet a more mild-mannered person than George Mann. But it looks as though Plange has been in there saying something to him. A placid fella, indeed, is George Mann. He'll take the clog all day, never bothers. But obviously something's incensed him there. The touch judge being spoken to by referee Galtris, Mr. Chamberlain. It is that's reporting to him. So we'll just have to see what happens. But good play from the Saints. They're throwing it about. He's reaching for the card, so it looks as though somebody's 10 minutes. Is he 10 minutes in the sin bin? Yes, he's given George Mann And Grant Anderson 10 minutes in the sin bin. The Saints awarded the penalty, and yet 2 men in the sin bin. Divine, Forber straightens it up, driving towards the Castleford line. 12 yards out, more or less centre field. Groves wants a quick play the ball, tried to attract referee Golter's attention, but he's wasting his time. On to Bernard Dwyer, straightens it up, centre field. Powering it through, and these big forwards will have to get into this defence. Ward driving up, back to Dwyer, out to Haggerty, Groves. Oh, unfortunately, Rapati going without the ball there. But Ward trying to set it up, Haggerty coming on as well. And unfortunately, Rapati just couldn't take the final pass. Castleford in possession, Beardmore flicks it out to Hardy. Good ball there, but a super tackle on the ladder from Paul Forber. Oh, Castleford trying to kick upfield, he fluffed it there. Stedman, well, with all due respect, it's the first mistake he has made this afternoon. He's been quite brilliant in the Castleford ranks. But a scrum down, an unforced error from Castleford right on their own line. And a chance now for the Saints to get the ball from the scrum, which they have done. Divine, Haggerty, sidesteps off 1 foot, drives for the line. Saints are going to get points on the board now. Bernard Dwyer, 8 yards short, Saints in possession. They probably move it over to the right now. Ward coming through at pace. 5 yards short, Saints on the charge. Cooper, Beavers. Good ball to Rapati, still in the tackle Rapati, driving for the corner, back flail, a knock on that. Well, if he's facing up towards our line, he knocked it forward, and referee Golter said it's gone back. Well, it's beyond belief, isn't it? Fortunately, Tony Kay couldn't take it to that Castleford man, clearly knocked on. Saints faithful get behind them. When the chips are down, you've got to get behind your team. Saints tackling, holding exceptionally firm. Hardy running diagonally. Saints closing him down. Good run there, but solid tackling. Sixth and final tackle, and Castleford still entrenched in their own 25. Up to Stedman, tried to run it. A good tackle there. Stedman throws it anywhere. St. John Ellis. Like hot potato, that gets shut of it straight away. Beavers, Kebby coming inside. Beavers gets a dummy, super dummy. Beavers down the main stand side. 10 yards short of the Castleford 25. Another 6 tackles to make it count. Roy Haggerty running out of the defence. Groves, that dummy half. Castleford all offside there. Inside pass from Cooper to Forber. Powering up to the 25. Quick play the ball, but Forber there being held down. Ward taking up the running. Flicks it to Groves. Groves gives the dummy. Castleford being urged onside, but not responding as Haggerty runs hard. Sixth and final one. Are we going to have a pop for drop, or are we going to have an up and under? Get the 1 point and get the ball back. But it's going left. Dwyer, Beavers, good ball, Bailey. Kebby, feeds it inside, it's still loose. No, it's still loose. Castleford have possession now. It would have been the changeover, but Saints trying quick hands. Unfortunately, it didn't come off then. Knock on, surely. Well, it's kicked through. You're allowed to kick through. Once the ball's on the ground for playing, you're allowed to strike at it. Shane Cooper, Saints captain, going over there and just questioning the referee's decision. He'll get no joy out of him, I can assure you. But once the ball's on the floor, it's open for kicking through. It was kicked through. The Castleford man knocked on clearly again. But referee Galtrust decided to ignore it once again. So Castleford awarded the penalty. 7 minutes of the second half gone, still 18 points to 12 in Castleford's favour. Both teams down to 12 men, with Mann and Anderson being sent off, dispatched for 10 minutes after a little fracas in this bottom right hand corner. Castleford in possession. Stedman, positional kicking. It bounces inside. Beavers takes it well, drives it up the right wing. Plunge brings him down with Hardy in support. Rapati on to Cooper. Inside ball to Devine. Saints looking a little flat-footed, on to Rapati again. Pushes one off. Still going is Tia Rapati. Strong New Zealander. Groves now scampering away from acting halfback. Oh, Groves, Ward's with him. Can Groves outpace the defence? Brilliant run from Groves. Well, he's being held down there by Plunge. Ward wants a quick play the ball. Saints on the rampage now. Spread it right along the line. Haggerty, he's straightened up. Inside ball. Oh, unlucky there. Inside pass from Haggerty. Saints could have took that and scored. It'd have been brilliant, but unfortunately French comes up with it. Dean Sampson now with possession. Purple patch from Saints and just going to miss there. Dwyer and Kay completing the tackle. Lee Crooks gives the dummy. Hardy looming on his right, but Crooks couldn't release it. Stedman at dummy half for Castleford. Centre field, you've got to get in this man. Releases a lovely ball there. I think it's Ian Bragger that got that ball. No, it wasn't. It was Larder. St. John Ellis. And it's out to two tackles. Driving for the line. Loves a short ball there to Bragger. I think he's brought down just short. Sixth and final tackle now. Castleford lofted ball over to the fast. Well, has he gone without it? Change overruled. Sixth tackle there. Castleford with a lovely lofted ball. It would have been if it had come off. But Saints start play from the changeover. Bernard Dwyer. Referee Galtris trying to line the Castleford players out on side. Not had much success, has he, so far? 10 minutes of the second half gone. Still 18 points to 12. Ward onto Groves. Haggerty. But Cass moving up very quickly. Paul Farber being carried off here. Cheered off by the Saints physio team. So Saints down to 11 men. As St. John Ellis takes the high bomb. Andy Bateman looking to come on. But it's St. John Ellis. He's been a thorn in the Saints side this afternoon. Somebody will have to get hold of him and whisper in his ear. Well, holding down in the tackle, that's the first time, and certainly Saints have been on the wrong end of some holding down in the tackle. But a penalty awarded to Castleford. The Saints are allowed to make the substitution now, with Andy Bateman coming on, replacing Paul Farber, who has some kind of leg injury. So on the wrong end there of the referee's whistle, as he penalises the Saints for holding down in the tackle, something which Castleford have been employing throughout the full game. Just waiting for both Sim Binners to come back on, but it's Stedman there. Bangs that penalty goal over and gives Castleford an 8 points cushion, now leading by 20 points to 12. Beavers to get us underway. Short, awkward, bouncing kick taken by Irwin. Bateman quickly in there, and Bateman, he's been subject of being put on the transfer list at 65,000 against his own wishes, I do believe, and he had a superb game at the A-team against Swinton yesterday. But he's a good forward, Bateman. Came from Hunslet, made his debut against the New Zealanders last year, the New Zealand touring team, but a good kick from Castleford. As Irwin and as Anderson and Mann come back on after the 10 minutes unenforced rest. Scrum down on the far side, just inside the Saints 25. Sean Devine to feed. Saints come up with possession. Devine breaking from the base of the scrum. Cooper. Hardy brings him down. Kevin Ward straightens up. 15-yard run from Ward. Groves takes it to the left. Short ball to Haggerty. Off 1 foot. Back inside. Haggerty still going. Looking for support. Irwin brings him down. I mean, how many times have you got to warn the man? He's having a word with him. He's just spent 10 minutes in the sin bin. Show him the tunnel. That's the only way. Well, that's not gone down well with the Saints faithful. He just spent 10 minutes in the sin bin. He's been warned again for an infringement. And he's still on the field. Kevin Ward. Oh, well, Saints, they've been awarded a penalty, but in effect they've been penalised because Ward had scored there, no problem. Saints take the quick tap. Devine along the line. Cooper. Beavers onto George Mann. Lofty ball to Kevy. Can he keep in field? He does just so. He's still in possession. Is he? No, Castleford man comes up with possession. But George Mann quickly in there at the tackle. But Saints being penalised there. We should have had at least 4 points on the board. Ward come through onto a lovely ball and Castleford penalised. But they're in possession in their own 25. On the far side there, on the main stand side. Just at the corner with the restaurant. Lee Crooks. Andy Bateman in there. Solid tackling. They force Crooks back within 8 yards of his own try line. Solid tackling from Bateman and Ward. The ball back in the in-goal area to Steadman. He kicks it upfield. Is he going to find touch? It does. Super kick from Steadman under pressure. To scrum down 10 yards inside the Saints half. It's going to be a Saints feed. Sean Devine now. Scrums level at 2 each, I make it. Let's see what referee Galtres makes of that. Has to be reformed. The touch judge here is indicating that the Castleford members are offside, but referee Galtres now, he's had his attention brought to it. Saints come up with possession from the scrum. Bailey. Well, it was Anderson that took the man there, but crossing is adjudged. Well, Steadman's going to have a go for goal just while he's having a go. Can we just tell you, if you missed the Australian tape, the Saints Australia, make sure you go and get your tape from the promotion department, or come and see us up here on the gantry. It's got quite a lot of the old players on. The old past players parade that came out with Dougie Greenall, Alan Prescott, Steve Llewellyn, Alex Murphy, and of course the great Vollenhoven. It's a historic item. You'll not be able to get it again. But a lot of these players who may never come to this ground again, you never know, do you? So don't forget, get your Australian video. Steadman converts that penalty award into points. 22 points to 12 now, and 16 minutes of the second half gone. Saints with a short kick-off, trying to make an unforced error, but John Joyner gathers it. Looming there on the far side. Castleford doing the double over the Saints. Last season we went down here at Nosey Road by 24 points to 26, and at Castleford went down 34 points to 24. The season before, we held Castleford to a 14 points each draw. That was the first points any team had taken off Castleford in the early season, as they were being judged early runners for the league. but that came to nothing. But at Castleford we was comprehensively beaten by 46 points to 12. And as I said before, in the preliminary round of the Cup last season, we beat Castleford up here by 39 points to 12, with Sean Devine there getting about 9 goals. Scrum down, 10 yards from the Saints line, Saints feed. Good ball there to Rapati. Gives the dummy, driving forward. Tries to get the ball round to Kebby, he does! But the defence closes down very quickly. Andy Bateman. First real touch for him this afternoon. Cooper. George Mann. Pushes one off into Groves. Groves comes back blindside. Tony Kay's with him. Groves has to take the tattle of Stedman right below us. Well, a knock on he's given, but there's only referee Galtres saw that. He's seen quite a lot this afternoon that we haven't seen, hasn't he? Must have had his carrots this morning. Scrum down, Castleford feed. French gets the ball. George Mann quickly dispatches him to the turf. Saints moving in very quickly. George Mann again, and he lost the ball there. Yes, a knock on Rude. Plunge it was, but that was on the touch judge's intervention. But we could see that clearly that time. Devine to feed. Saints win possession, move it quickly. Cooper, Rapati, Beaver's in the line, Beaver's into space, hits a big hole there, inside to Bailey. 20 yards from the Castleford line, Saints in possession. Cooper, Haggerty, running straight, looking for support. Lost possession. Crooks has it, but another knock-on being brought to Saints. Do Saints have possession? I think Bateman has possession. No, the Castleford man. Now with Dean Sampson. Saints still trailing. 22 points to 12. Halfway through this second half. Only the 2 Stedman penalty goals. The score in this second half as Mann gets possession. And Anderson quickly in. Kevin Ward. Back pass there to Bernard Dwyer. But the defence quickly on him. Excuse me, Groves, Cooper. Lofted ball to Beavers, linking up well. Mark Bailey. In the Castleford 25 again. Kebby turns it inside to Cooper. Back to Kebby. Cooper, Haggerty. Cooper again, Bill Beavers, been in the thick of it, hasn't he? George Mann, lofted ball to Tony Kay, inside to Beavers, trying to keep the ball going. Cooper, Bernard Dwyer drives for the line, lofted ball, yes, Bailey's in. No, the try, he's bounced it, well, shouldn't have made any mistake there. Lovely lofted ball there onto Mark Bailey, and as he went over, he must have bounced the ball. Lost possession at the vital time. So try going and begging for the Saints. Castleford restart with a tap from the 25. Crooks onto Hardy. Into Anderson. Tony Kay bangs him down. Castleford bringing it blindside. Onto French. Kicks it upfield. It's going to go touching. It's going to go dead, is it? Yes. Dead ball. Saints to restart from the centre of the 25. Kevin Ward. Back to Groves. Always there and about is Groves. Bernard Dwyer. But Dwyer turns around, brings it blindside. Just brought down by John Joyner. George Mann brings it blindside. Turns it inside to Bernard Dwyer. Saints have to spread it quickly. Cooper sees the gap. Good ball to Bateman. Hit the hole there. It's now on to Kebby. Bateman hit the hole well, but it was Sean Irwin that brought him down. Cooper now. Beavers. Centre field. Haggerty's with him. gives it to Haggerty, he'll take him on. Pushes St. John Ellis off, looking for support. Just short of the 25-yard line. Beavers onto Cooper, blindside, George Mann, lovely ball to Cooper, turned it inside to Tony Kay. Awkward running three-quarter, Tony Kay, takes running it quickly, Cooper, Groves. Cooper, yes, Cooper's in, is he? The try's given. Yes, good play from Saints captain Cooper, bringing it on the blind side, touching down on the sixth tackle, then Saints in for a try. Another difficult conversion attempt from Sean Devine, and it's on his wrong foot, with him being a right-footed kicker. 16 points to Saints, 22 to Castleford, but Shane Cooper there getting the bit between his teeth, bringing it blindside, and outwitting the Castleford defence on the sixth tackle. A lot of hard graft there from Saints second row, George Mann. But Sean Devine, you can see there that Cooper just touched down. It's only a matter of a foot in from the corner flag. So Sean Devine just composing himself. Quite a lot of barracking and what have you from underneath our commentary position here. But 22-16 the score. Will it come in? It looks good. Just short. Had the direction, but just short. But a good attempt there. So just 6 points separating the teams. And Saints very unlucky just a couple of minutes before that Cooper try, with Mark Bailey in the other corner. But he bounced the ball. Another one that went to begging. 16-22 the score, 15 minutes of normal time remaining. Kebby stops it with his knees, gathers it safely, drives into the oncoming Castleford defence. Dwyer sees the gap, drives for it, pushes one out of the way. He's still going, he's up to the 25 now. Ward inside to Groves, into space. Good 20-yard run from Paul Groves. Beavers wants a quick play, the ball on target. He says running it hard. Cooper, George Mann, watch him go. Tirapati, inside to George Mann. To Cooper, Saints keeping it alive. Stedman brings Cooper down. Cooper wants a quick play, the ball. Groves over the top of Stedman there. But it's Saints in possession. Sean Devine straightening up. Driving through, releases it to Ward, powering up, Andy Bateman. Saints on the charge now, sixth and final tackle, and Saints will have to run it. 6 points valuable now. Haggerty, Cooper, chips it through, can Tony Kay? No, can't gather it. Plans, just lets it go. Scrum down. Ideal time if Paul Groves can just get one against the feed here. It's French, Gary French to feed. Saints with plenty of possession. 5 to 1 in the second half. I make it of scrum possession. French feeds, scrum collapses. It's all got to be done again. Still 14 minutes of time remaining, plenty of time for the Saints to secure a win here. Saints push, but Castleford come up with possession. It's French. Stedman from dummy half, but Saints don't take the dummy this time. Defence will have to be tight now. Dean Sampson. Bateman and Dwyer complete the tackle. Crooks, short ball there to Hardy. Crooks at dummy half. Castleford looking a bit bunched there in the centre field. Well, Anderson, he didn't know he was getting it. Just boots it upfield. Well, I mean, fair dues, Mr. Galtris. I'll go with you that time. I suppose it was a knock-on, but equally the other two at the other end against Castleford were knock-ons, but he didn't give them. Awkward ball for Beavers to take. It's amazing what he can see and what he can't see, isn't it? So pressure on the Saints now. Castleford feed in their own 25. French, well, never even saw the scrum, that. Never even saw it. A disgrace. Well, what a tackle there from Tirapati. Super tackle there on Stedman. On to Hardy. Saints have to withstand this pressure. Well, George Mann, tremendous competitor. But he doesn't like it, does St. John Ellis. Castleford in possession in the Saints 25. Stedman, lost possession. Second mistake of the match. Good ball handler as a rule. Just looking to get a better grip on the ball, moving it left. I'm quite pleased he fluffed it there. Divine feeds. I never saw the scrum either, did it? Beavers kicks it upfield. The chase is on. Rapati and Beavers. Stedman again. Beavers comes in, brings the man down. Stedman in, Beavers in again, but it's Anderson in possession. But a good tackle on Stedman there, and he's took a knock. And there's a good play from Castleford. They could see Beavers was down here, out of position. And they kicked the ball right upfield. George Mann, he's the first player to get it. Releases it inside to Kebby. But Kebby's going nowhere. Castleford move up very quickly. Well, Castleford penalised this side for kicking at the ball. I can't understand the man at all. Once the ball's on the ground, it's open for striking at. I mean, who hooks the ball any more than Shane Cooper at the play of the ball? What Saints have been awarded the penalty? Half an hour of the second half gone. 10 minutes remaining. Saints trailing by 6 points. 16 points to 22. They're in possession. They're just outside their own 25. Haggerty to Dwyer. Releases it to Devine. Sees the gap. Goes for it to Sean Devine. Solid tackling. Castleford looking to make a substitution now with Neil Roebuck on the touchline. Ward. The ball's loose. David plunge. Tony Kay tried to chase him. Oh, but Beavers, a super tackle from Beavers. One of the best tacklers in the league. He's picked up a knock though in that tackle. It's still Castleford in possession and on the charge. St. John Ellis. Beardmore at dummy half. Castleford moving it right. French onto Hardy. Looking for the gap. But Haggerty wraps him up. Brings him down centre field. Stedman at dummy half. Have to watch this Castleford side now. No doubt they'll want to get a drop goal if they can. But they lose possession. Haggerty snaps it up. And Haggerty has to take the tackle. Phil Beavers still receiving treatment. So Saints down to 12 men at present. Cooper. Lovely inside ball to Bernard Dwyer. Created the gap there. Cooper drew the defence over. A big hole emerged and put Dwyer into it. But it's Groves. Lofted ball. Tony Kay takes it. Going down the right wing. Tony Kay. Good play. Just brought down right in front of us. Joyner tries to hold him down. Bit of professionalism, as they call it. Offside, that man. But quick hand from the Saints. Cooper. Lofted ball. George Mann on the rampage. Watch him go. Good ball to Kebby. Oh, unlucky there. Saints moving it a full 75 yards downfield. And the ball down at the far corner there. George Mann. Whether he slipped it to Kebby or not, I don't know. But it's gone down and a scrum down to be formed. Roebuck on for John Joyner. In the 72nd minute, Castleford up with the ball from that scrum. Plunge on the left wing. Beavers in again. Oh, super tackle again, Beavers. Twice in quick succession with plunge in space. And he doesn't like it, but he'll have to suffer it, won't he? St. John Ellis. Being a bit greedy there, the ball should have gone. But Castleford moving upfield, what an end-to-end. Oh, Stedman there, that's going to seal it. Unfortunately, the Castleford supporters at the Eddington end jump with delight, but it's Stedman again. Another bit of brilliance there. And he touches down right between the sticks. Stedman with his hat-trick. Extend the Castleford lead to 26 points to 16. Just a formality for Stedman to convert his own try. And Saints wanted to make a substitution on, bringing Darren O'Brien on for his first team debut to replace Brimmer Kebby. Well, the shouts of Castleford from the Eddington end. It's the first time we've heard him this second half, isn't it? So a 12-point gap there now for Castleford, with only 6 minutes remaining. Saints making the substitution now. Brimmer Kebby being replaced by Darren O'Brien. The ball being kicked off and Bernard Dwyer going for it. But it had to be brought back. The touch judge bringing the referee's attention to the substitution. So Beavers chips it short again. French feeds it back inside to St. John Ellis. He goes to kick it, then runs up centre field. Dwyer and Cooper bring it to a halt. 5 minutes of normal time remaining, a 12-point gap. Certainly possible, but highly improbable. Roebuck at dummy half. On to Dean Sampson. Rapati and Cooper finally bring him down to the halfway line, but what a good 20-yard burst from Dean Sampson there. Roebuck inside to Lee Crooks. Kevin Ward there, unfortunately he was hoping to get one over on his ex-teammates this afternoon, but it's not to be. He's had a good hard running game as Kevin Ward. Stedman. Tony Kay, well, the ball's still loose, it's going to go dead. Tony Kay couldn't gather it. It's kicked forward by the Castleford man. Saints are going to start from the centre of the 25. Groves there, ready and waiting. Out to Tony Kay. Loping run, Kay stretching forward. Lost the ball, very unlucky there. But it's not going right. It doesn't go right, does it? Saints trying to break quickly. Groves getting things underway. Lofted ball to Tony Kay. He was tackled and lost possession in the tackle. Castleford win scrum possession. George Manning on his counterpart Sean Irwin. And Castleford forwards getting up a little slower now. On to Steve Larder, Dwyer and Ward. The Castleford last week they had a good win against Wakefield, 42 points to 12. French 2 tries, Plange 2 tries, Larder, Hardy, Irwin and Stedman. With Crooks 5 goals. At Stedman, he's got a hat-trick this afternoon. Bit of constant thorn in the Saints side. It's the 6th and final tackle now of this sequence for Castleford. Stedman having a go for drop goal. Well, it's right through the uprights. Hell of a drop goal attempt that. Just less than 50 yards. With 3 minutes remaining. and 29 points to 16 the score. So Saints 29 points to 16 deficit. Phil Beavers kicks off, and now another fortnight without a game. I think it's the 4th of November when Saints play Rochdale. That's the next fixture, and obviously a boost for Castleford. Saints with games in hand, but we could have done with definitely winning this one today at the bottom end of the table. Paul Groves there remonstrating with the referee as Castleford very slow to play the ball. Dean Sampson from acting halfback trying to scamper through, still looking strong after the end of 80 minutes toil. Well, he couldn't have shouted hell surely, because the men were still in the tackle. He was right by the referee. Groves came in as the extra tackler to try and get the man down. He knocked the ball from his hands and was duly penalised. So quite a lot of decisions being left to the imagination from Mr. Galtras this afternoon. Certainly we'll cross him off our Christmas card list. But it's Beardmore, Sampson, Groves and Rapati in at the tackle. Sean Irwin. Beardmore at dummy half. Inside now to Lee Crooks. Castleford in possession, 10 yards short of the Saints try line, in a commanding 29 points to 16 lead. Roebuck at dummy half, Steadman out. Whether it's going to come to him again, he's going to have another go, but Crooks tries to flick it round. Devine comes up with possession. Beavers, Dwyer onto George Mann. But time running out for the Saints now. Virtually on the full-time hooter. Haggerty in possession. Yes, there's the full-time hooter. Referee Galtras brings play to a halt, and Saints going down by 29 points to 16. Only trailing by 6 points at half-time, but 2 Steadman penalty goals. A Cooper try brought us back in the hunt at 16:22, and then a Steadman try and goal, and just 3 minutes from time, Steadman drop goal. He's been the difference in the two sides, but unfortunately Saints going down by that 29 points to 16 defeat as